Hello everyone. It's 11:24 p.m. at night. Um so my video looks more clear today. And last night I don't know why it was looking foggy or blurry or something like that. So let's see. Let So after last night's video, I think I went to bed at 2:30 or fell asleep at 2:30. And it was the first time I ever had a dream of myself being up in here and off the streets. The first time I ever had a dream about being here. Um, so it was the first time I had a dream about being here. And then in the dream, this couple was sleeping not in the other bed, but on the floor. And in the dream, they were like doing sexual stuff, And then after that, I guess I got offended and fled and left the place, left this cabin, and then went outside somewhere. And then I came back and flew across. They had this, instead of the little street right here, it was a big highway. And this cabin was right by the highway, like an interstate in the dream. It was an interstate highway with bridges. And in the dream, the cabin or where I'm at was right by an interstate. That was weird. And so then, it was nighttime in the dream as well as in real life. And the couple that was doing sexual stuff, the guy had, how if you have a dream or a nightmare about people transforming into another person that you know. So the guy in the dream transformed into the foster stepdad. And I think that was what grossed me out and made me get mad and leave in the dream. And then after that, after I came back, I tried to call. No, that's not what happened. I tried to get on social media in a dream. But in the dream, I some kind of way dialed 911 by accident. I don't know how or why that happened in the dream, that I dialed 911 by accident. And then the police didn't show up and I got scared. And then again, I felt relieved and glad that they didn't come because I didn't call them in a dream. But in a dream, again, getting scared of getting arrested or going to prison or jail or something. So it's the gang stalking, me reporting on the gang stalking, dream manipulation and dream manipulation and so for me to document and report the gang stalking dream manipulation. But it was the first time I ever had a dream about being here while living here and being off the streets. But then again, it had to be a nightmare with anything related to police, jail, or prison or something like that. So, but I think after I got here, was having like homeless nightmares or nightmares about jail or prison even before the Social Security situation happened. And like ever since then, I've been having like many bad dreams or nightmares about, you know, getting arrested or going to jail or being locked up in prison to never see the light of day ever again. Because the gang stalkers have made those threats at me or try to spook and scare me with that. So I'm dealing with more bossy people trying to tell me what to do and trying to police how I handle my targeting. You know, and so the last video that I uploaded, two people made remarks about the color red being unimportant, but, oh yeah, I do remember mentioning about, if you wear the color red, I had to tell myself that even though a lot of the gang stalkers wear red, not everybody that wears red is a perp, but if you're wearing red for the purpose of gang stalking reasons, then yeah, that would trigger any target. I mean, a lot of target individuals would be triggered. But, as I said, they left this color. I didn't even want this color. But they left this color to be the only color that was on sale. But as I said, I would have liked the aqua color ones. That's what I usually get, the aqua color or silver, black, white. I don't like the blue ones because the blue ones, it's always the blue color ones that never work for some reason. Only one or two of the blue colors I got them to work. But these are working pretty good to block out the loud noise. But I'm not trying to minimize, but it's like not that much red. I mean, but as I said, how are you going to be a fellow targeted individual? You wear entire red hoodies in your videos. But this little bit of red, you falsely accuse me of being a perp and trying to make like I triggered you. But you're wearing entire red, And then he tried to manipulate and convince everybody that, yes, it's true, Candy's a perp. Oh, she cleared her throat and she's wearing red. But I could easily say that you triggered me. You're a narcissistic abuser. You got a lot of mannerisms and personality or whatever that's triggering me. The way you talk and act like a narcissistic abuser. You hypocritically wear an entire red hoodie. And you be throwing up satanic hand signs. Like the perps do. You throw up their hand signs. So, I don't throw up satanic hand signs in normal conversation. I hate to even do it, but if I do it to show and demonstrate, this is what the hand sign looks like, But the fake Darnell Williams perp that wants me to be satanic so bad, he would screenshot me using those signs to show that this is what the sign look like that other people do. But he would take a screenshot and be like, oh yeah, this is Candy throwing up satanic. No, I don't even throw up satanic hand signs like that. But as I said, this is the only color that they made to be cheaper and on sale. Not the other colors or the colors that I would have really wanted. If they had a purple one, I love purple. Well, that's my favorite color, purple. But these don't come in dark yellow, or I don't think they come in orange. But I really don't like blue unless it's navy blue. Sometimes I might like sky blue, but um excuse me, I really don't like the color. I mean, I'm not too crazy over like blue and green unless it's blue and green mixed. No matter how dark or light, I like the blue and green mixed. Like if I like hunter green, but I don't really like forest green, you know. But people can perk with any color, not just red, but a lot of the times red is the main color. But as I said, if I know that you're doing it, or if I strongly feel like you're using red to perk, then I'll get mad or triggered. But if you have a job where you work at Family Dollar, but they have a red uniform. So if you work at Family Dollar and you're not a perp, then that won't bother me because you're wearing a red uniform shirt or whatever. But if I would have stayed longer with Avis, that job, the company wears red shirts and budget is blue. Like Avis Budget Group. So budget is blue and Avis is red. But you see that with a lot of Illuminati companies as well. So I heard that the 13 stripes, the history books lie to us and say that the 13 stripes represent the 13 colonies. On the American flag, the 13 stripes actually secretly mean the 13 Illuminati bloodlines. The 13 satanic Illuminati bloodlines. So, a lot of professed targeted individuals say that they get gang stalked with red, white, and blue, or red and blue. Sometimes they use red and blue with me. A combination of red and blue. But a lot of the time they use red cars and white cars. Sometimes gray and silver. But they use white cars and red cars more than anything. But sometimes they might have a red car that passed by that does not have the one headlight, or strange headlights or tail lights, or if they don't have their arm hanging out of the window, or any. But they can have the one headlight or arm hanging out the window with any color. You can drive a brown car or a brown truck, and but it's like, if it's intentional and willful, and you know what you're doing and you know what you signed up for, but they got a lot of professed targeted individuals that wear the color red. I even did a blog post talking about targeted individuals wearing red. But I like the online perps, as I said, they call me I think my twin sister started that, because she likes to perp with red on purpose. But she tried to say, well, Candy gets to wear red, she's a hypocrite. Well, first of all, that red, and whoever gave me that red hoodie probably was perping me by giving me that. Like, now, I explained that when my sleeping bags kept getting stolen, somebody that worked downtown Pensacola gave me tried to give me everything red, and I wasn't trying to be ungrateful or anything like that, but for a specific reason, I didn't want to be wearing red, because I didn't want other TIs to falsely accuse me of being a perp, and I didn't want to trigger them. But I didn't really have that much money and my two sleeping bags got stolen, and I don't know if they got thrown away or if other perps has. I mean, like um perps other than the people that may be working and cleaning up. If it wasn't them, that's the gang stalkers that clean up. If it's other perps aside from them that might be homeless people that might have stole my you know. So the color red is important in Freemasonry and all that, and the number 33, because they do a reverse or a mockery of Jesus' blood and Jesus dying on the cross, for our sins at 33 years old. But he didn't stay dead. He rose and he's still alive today, So Jesus Christ is God manifested in the flesh. So, they have a mockery of, the Freemasons or the satanic people, they worship death and blood. And so they will mock Jesus' death. So that, as I said, that red hoodie, I don't remember if I gave the hoodie away. I don't remember what I did with the red hoodie. But I had no choice but to stay stuck with the red sleeping bag. But it was the blue sleeping bag that got, I had three blue sleeping bags that got stolen. And then another sleeping bag that was dark blue and lime green that got not stolen but tampered with. But the the red sleeping bag, I had no choice but to sleep with it because I didn't have anything else, and that was given to me. And I couldn't tell her about the gang stalking, but I didn't know if she was a perp. But she tried to give me red shoes and red hoodie, and it's And I said, well, is red your favorite color? And she got an attitude, said, is red your favorite color? Like, she got very snappy and defensive, So, some people say that, getting that defensive like that is confession. So, I hope she wasn't a perp, but when I had this red sleeping bag, I don't remember how long I had it for, but I couldn't wait to get some different color or some different. As soon as my soonest opportunity, I try to get some different color sleeping bags. So I had to stay stuck with the red sleeping bag, and some people try to say, well, pink is still red, So I'm like, well, I was wearing a pink dress. Like, women usually wear pink, but I've heard stories about people perping with pink. But I don't perp, So I've heard stories about people wearing purple and perping or wearing blue and perping. But I've heard people perping with the color green. So, but the main thing is red. But I think it was a red car that drove near me earlier today, and I felt like, well, maybe she might not be a perp, But but a lot of the times, sometimes, if you see three red cars in a row, that's definitely, or two red cars in a row with no other traffic. Yeah, definitely. But sometimes you can feel it in your gut, you can feel it in your gut, And sometimes, a lot of the times, the target's intuition is right, but every once in a while, we might have rare false alarms about whether or not, if we make a mistake and falsely accuse somebody of being a perp when they're not, whether it be another fellow TI, or if you might mistakenly accuse one of your neighbors of being a perp. Sometimes you might make a rare mistake. But living here, I got my final confirmation, because like somebody said, watch how they move. Watch how they move, and you can tell, if they're a perp or not. So my throat has been, like the congestion has kind of cleared up a little bit. So I'm glad that I haven't been, excuse me, my throat just got tickled just now. But, maybe because of me having coconut oil with my, in the vegetable soup and during dinner, I think that's clearing the abscess and clearing the congestion, or the excess mucus. So I feel it a little bit in my chest and all that. So I felt bad that guy took me the wrong way and said that me clearing my throat and wearing wearing these red earbuds, he falsely accused me of being a perp. But that's the same guy. I see him being footage of him being targeted, but he wears entire red hoodies, and he said red is his favorite color. But you sitting there, you throw up satanic hand signs in your videos. Devil horn 666, and your hands in a pyramid, like a Masonic pyramid. So like the pink dress that I had, yeah, $3 or something. That was like the cheapest dress I could afford. Pink, a woman, a girl, female wearing pink, and it was $3 was cheapest I could afford, the pink dress. I try to have a black dress and a green dress. It was a teal colored dress, but both of those, like, I think the teal colored dress got stolen, and with my other stuff, and then the black dress I was forced to leave at Trisha's house. But I heard that. Now, one thing, how come other professed targeted individuals can call another TI a perp? If they say, oh, well, she did this, so she's a perp. But you can call people a perp, but then you want World War III to happen if another TI were to get mad and say that you're a perp. We all have, whether intentionally or unintentionally, if we get mad, we all have had our moments where we have called like somebody a perp. But, they want to punish me and make me suffer if I call them a perp. But then how many people have you said was a perp? If you told me over the phone that this person's a perp, that person's a perp. But then if I say that you're a perp, then you act like you want to lecture me for 4 hours or try to perp me on purpose for never-ending revenge, or like revenge punishment. If I say that you were perping me. But they act like as if they want to try to perp me for revenge, narcissistic revenge punishment. But yeah, that's what that Paul guy did. He had never favored. I don't think he ever favorited my videos before. But he favorited my video and then weaponized that against me and then falsely accused me of being a gang stalker. But then I think he might be the cause of why so many professed targets on TikTok are blocking and unfollowing me left and right. They didn't used to do that. They used to support me. Or they refuse to follow me now. Because he lied on me. But he acted butthurt when I said he was a narcissistic abuser. I mean, I felt heavily discouraged, you know. But you sitting here wearing whole red hoodies. And not because it was the only thing left. You said red is your favorite color. So now he got everybody avoiding and staying away from me. I'm sitting here getting less support because he lied on me. But he's arrogant like a narcissistic abuser. I mean, he said certain things in his videos that upset and triggered me. But they got a lot of people who claim that they're targeted individuals and they act like narcissistic abusers. Trying to boss and control people, or they got these narcissistic mannerisms. And then when narcissism comes perp. I could have easily said Paul and that Katasha person. I could have said, well, y'all perping me because y'all were doing directed conversation on me because I had, before y'all came and falsely accused me of that, I was already, you know, I started on July 17th to work on and I had to put that on hold because of what I'm going through. But I started a blog post about and part of, I can't talk about it really on here, but it has something to do with you know, a little bit part of the blog post is me talking about gang stalkers coughing on me. You know. And so then a day or two later, the Katasha person falsely accused me of having a perp cough. When I explained to her that I had the heavy mucus in my throat due to the tooth abscess. And then a couple of days later, Paul Tucson guy, he came and falsely accused me. I mean, how many videos have I done that though? And I don't even know if he just was having a bad day or going through something, or if he admit that he get drunk sometimes, or if he did or said certain things because he was drunk. But you know, in my case, I mean, he wasn't even. I don't even think I'll get an apology from him or Katasha. But as I said, like at this very second, the congestion. I mean, the abscess is not gone, but it's halfway reduced. You know, it got smaller. But I don't feel that much congestion in my chest and throat. And I attribute that to, it could be the apple cider vinegar as well. You know, I put the apple cider vinegar and coconut oil and the some Celtic sea salt, you know, in my mixed vegetables with some water and boiled them, you know. And I was not trying to make a soup, but it turned out to be a soup, and I accidentally put too much, a little too much vinegar. But I don't feel 100% clear, but I feel almost clear. But yeah, Paul turned so many people against me, you know. Like he don't give a damn about, and he probably sitting here thinking I deserve to be punished and that I don't deserve any support. Because, you know, if they got professed targeted individual, he don't say he's chosen, but They got a lot of professed targeted individuals who run around and say that falsely call themselves God's chosen elect or chosen ones, you know. But then, you know, remember how I told y'all about how the TI community, a lot of people have sold out and playing both sides and trying to act like both target and perp. And then because if they get targets to sell out, and you know, they've even approached me with those offers, and I rejected every single offer, and they're still trying to get me, you know. So if they're still trying to get me, so if they lie to the target and say, well, if you you know, they wait till you're the most desperate, and they'll lie and say that that, you know, if you take this offer, then you can get off the gang stalking list. And sometimes they speak in code, or they might be more subtle with their wording and very slick, and trick a target. And I heard that, you know, even after a target sells out, they will still end up being perped, but then they're in it for life, and so they're scared, you know, to try to get out, and they're afraid to die after they sold their soul. So then they start to perp to try to lessen or ease up their targeting, and then they grow narcissistic and bitter. They end up to be they turn out to be narcissistic and bitter, and then start picking on and harassing other fellow TIs. So that's the explanation for why another TI will harass or bully you. And it's disgusting that a man picking on and bullying and harassing a woman, when men are supposed to protect women. And then for somebody to be a fellow black female and do this to another fellow black female, they be the worst. The most brutal of all. So, yeah, somebody tried to tell me, don't be telling your dreams or whatever. No, I'm gonna talk about my dreams if I remember them. I'm gonna document my dreams too. So, I mean, as I said, I did a video talking about how I feel bad that all of a sudden recently my Tourette's symptoms are being falsely accused of being perp tactics. And I'm like, that's something very new, because I've been doing videos for all these years and nobody ever did such a thing like that to me. But people on TikTok are becoming fake and selling out, and a lot of y'all say y'all chosen ones, but y'all call yourselves light workers and witches. You practice witchcraft and say you're a light worker, and then say you're chosen by God. No, you're not. So, and then a lot of people, the popular fakes on YouTube, excuse me, what, like 40,000 subscribers, and all they do is sit behind a desk or drive around in their brand new pretty Teslas talking about how great God is and talking about God chosen ones and God's chosen the elect. Those are the fake ones. But I get told that me showing footage of my targeting is irrelevant and getting treated like as if I'm being petty. Like as if I'm being petty and worrying about the wrong things. You falsely accuse me of being a fake TI, but then you want me to ignore everything. Ignore all my torture and suffering. Well, I'm not sending any paperwork to Congress, Paul. I'm not writing no letters to Congress. I'm not writing to the UN. If, the United Nations and, it seemed like targeted justice, they tug at our hearts and pull our leg and give us, some of these organizations give us false hopes of justice and healing and for this program to end. The psychopathic elite do not want this gang stalking to end. And some people will try to say, well, gang stalking is a blessing. Or they'll say gang stalking is, purposed by God to refine you or strengthen you spiritually. A lot of people say that the gang stalking is another version of Christian persecution, but they got a lot of people who say that they're targeted, or they show footage of themselves being targeted, and they don't claim to believe in Jesus, But I was targeted long before I started to believe in Jesus Christ. So, nobody called me a perp when I had the red sleeping bag. But that's interesting because nobody fucked with that one. Excuse me, but any blue sleeping bag I got, that would get stolen. Nobody messed with the red sleeping bag. But the first sleeping bag that I had in Pensacola was the sleeping bag. It was given to me by the Washburn Center, that Michael Kimbrough guy. And somebody said that he was a perp. Well, he was rude to me and didn't want to help me when I was supposed to have gotten that, go to the, Satoshi Forest, I think the name is. Yeah, I was supposed to go there, but he even told me that me having OCD, that wouldn't be a good fit for me. But he got arrested or something, or got in some legal trouble or something. But that's the guy who didn't do anything when they had that perp that pulled a knife on me and threatened to kill me. He threatened that perp. It was a black guy who threatened to cut me up. And then later on, it was a white guy who pulled a knife out on a bus in Pensacola. It's I think there might have been a third person that day that threatened me with a knife later on too. But at least two people that day had, two people of the male gender, black and white, threatened me with a knife that day. Yeah, the Michael guy, he just kicked the guy away from the place for the rest of the day, and then he let him back the next day. Ever since, and then they will always be rude at the Washburn Center as well. The volunteers and stuff, they would be rude over there. And so yeah, I couldn't even handle being over there because of my OCD being so bad. So, but yeah, I thought I was supposed to be first in line or next in line, excuse me, to get the a space at the Satoshi Forest. I mean, it was more like an outdoor camping setting, but I would have been driven crazy and freaked out of all the flies and gnats or bugs and or whatever, because they would have other dirty homeless people there, or they probably would have mobbed me out of there and I would have ended up back at square one. But sometimes you might have a false alarm, but a lot of people be a lot of people do be perping with the red on purpose, but as I said, I'm not a perp at all, but I'm forced to be stuck with these. As I said, I needed an MP3 player so bad, and this was the only one they had. But I try to make it not on purpose, but me, as many times as I accidentally dropped this MP3 player on the floor or the ground, and I clean and sanitize it with, but some of the coloring came off, But I was trying to look for the silver one, but this was the only color that they had. And they did that on purpose. So Amazon be gang stalking as well. But they're trying to force their gang stalking tactics on me. Like, as I said, the fake ass unlucky cab had me driving around with strange one brake light or strange headlights without even realizing it. And so after the second day, I had to quit. And then they deliberately sleep deprived me really bad on purpose. And the guy who trained me to do the cabbing, two of the guys who trained me with the cab driving, both of them were perps. And then some of them be fake nice and then like force shove their fake one headlight down my throat, but then pretend to be fake nice and pretend that they're friendly. If you got one red car and one headlight, then you're definitely a perp. Any color car with one headlight, but there's a rare likelihood of it's a slim chance that a person's headlight, if a person is not a perp and their headlight just because of some misfortune or because of the battery going out or whatever, if the light go out and you're driving near a Target and that happened, but no, they actually, I have seen and have video footage, random videos, I can't find a specific one, where gang stalkers ride with one headlight and then they change the headlight. They turn off the headlight as they approach me. Or they have the headlight off and then as they approach me, they turn it on. But, if you're a targeted individual and you show one headlight, people make it like, well, that's irrelevant. That don't even matter. But it was a big deal back in 2019 or on other people's videos. But when I showed myself being victimized by the one headlight, that's irrelevant and don't matter. But even other professed targets act like my life don't matter or like as if I'm not important. It's really scary and lonesome. But anyway, so after, I was asleep from, because after 2 o'clock in the morning, after 2:30 in the morning, it took me a while to fall asleep. Then I fell asleep, and I probably fell asleep after 3 o'clock, and then I woke up just before 4 o'clock and used the bathroom, and then was up for a while, and then I think sometime after 5 o'clock fell asleep, and I woke up at about 7 o'clock in the morning, probably before that. So I guess you can say I got like 2.5 hours of sleep. And then after that, so I had only got 2.5 hours of sleep. And then I don't remember what else I did, but I think it was after 9 o'clock. I went back to Family Dollar. I wanted some more of those chicken bites, but that was the last one of that one that they had. So I needed to get more paper towels. And what else did I get? I got a few other miscellaneous things. So then I came and immediately just dropped everything off, and then went to pay the rent. And so there was no dispute or argument on how much rent I should pay. I paid the rent, and I asked the lady. I told the lady about the leak. She said that the air conditioner is supposed to leak outside, but it's not supposed to leak inside. So well, it was leaking just outside when I told the other lady about it. She said that was normal. But now it's leaking inside. And so she said that the guys, I guess, are backed up, and it's going to take a while. So I would hate to be using up so much money on I would hate to be so much money being wasted on towels and paper towels, trying to get the and have to keep on mopping and cleaning up the having to keep on mopping and cleaning up the water off the floor. And so the lady said she does not know when. She said she doesn't know when she doesn't know when they would get another when they'll be able to come, but I have to be careful if I don't slip and fall. And then, I would hate to be making so many laundromat trips or spending so much money on, paper towels. But it just dawned on me just at this second, like, oh, what if I were to, I don't know if it will work if I were to get like another cheap, I don't know if it'll be $1, but like, if I could get like a container or something, or or maybe put the trash bag the trash can right there. I didn't even think about that idea. Cause like, I have just a few towels, and and so now I have to prematurely do laundry because and look, the floor is still very wet. But I had put some I mean, I mopped the floor and put some water on the floor, but it looked like as if it got more water on the floor. So when I try to put the towels out on the little um I don't know if that's called a balcony, and drape it over the thing um to dry. And then this evening what happened was it I think tonight I think I caught I think that I that the wind, you know, blowing, I think that I ended up with because they would have stray cats and stray dogs. So tonight I was being bitten up by something, and I really think I was being bitten up by fleas. I think I was being bitten up by fleas. And I'm like, oh shit. But now it is now help Saturday, August 5th, 2023 at 12:15 a.m. in the morning. So yeah, certain parts of the floor is like very wet. But I'm sitting here feeling like tonight I think I got some you know, I think I ended up with some flea bites. I mean, I think I got fleas biting me. So I tried to mop the floor with some Dawn dishwashing liquid. Certain websites say that the Dawn dishwashing liquid does not help against fleas. Other websites say that that it does. But I hope that the peppermint oil will help. So, yeah, like when I ask questions at the front office, those ladies be treating me like as if I get on their nerves or something. You know, when I ask questions. I'm still kind of new here. So it's indefinite when it's indefinite when it's indefinite when I don't know when the men would come and you know excuse me, fix the air conditioner leaking. So then the lady at the post office was a little rude when I tried to get some stamped envelopes and also check my mail. I tried to get some stamped envelopes, and when I tried to use my debit card, before she just that quick denied me the opportunity to select cash back or whatever. She like exited out that screen real quick, and so she got snappy and rude and got an attitude with me when I was trying to ask, well, do y'all not give cash back? Oh, we don't. She said like with an attitude, like we don't do that around here. We don't have money like that or something like that. I don't remember what she said. You know, but she had kind of an attitude like as if it was a crime for me to ask such a question, or like it was wrong for me to ask. You know, she said we don't have money like that around here. You know, something like that. She said, but she said it with an attitude. But that ain't the first or the second time she had an attitude with me. So then so I just had like 2 half bowls of cereal. And again, it seemed like as if I was tasting freaking leftover soap residue. And but I tried to rinse my ass off with rinsing and 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 rinsing the bowl and the dishes off. And so it was before 11 o'clock that I had. Now that was the last of the cereal that I had, but now I have some milk left over. So maybe later on today, it's a new day now, it's Saturday the 5th, I probably can have some oatmeal with milk. And well, I'm gonna say in the evening, I try to freeze some water and make some ice so I can make another one of those smoothies. But it wouldn't turn to ice for some reason, or it took many hours and it still didn't really. I mean, it didn't really turn to enough ice like I wanted. So I ended up it's like I was so sleepy all evening and all afternoon long. So it was almost 11 o'clock in the morning that I ate just 2 bowls of cereal and nothing else. I mean, 2 half bowls of cereal and nothing else. I mean, drinking water, But then afterwards, I went to work on a letter, about something else important. I wrote a letter about something else important. And then it was about 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. No, it was maybe 1:30 that I went back to the post office and turned in the letter. And I wanted to get it done, before the weekend, so it can be like the sooner the better. But then, because if I would have done it on Monday, then that would have been another day delayed. So I try to do it before the weekend so it could be sooner and earlier. And then, so I uploaded the videos. And then, I guess I was busy trying to fight and battle with the water being on the floor. When I'm done this video, I'm gonna try to see about that. I'm gonna try to see about putting the try to see if I put the little trash can, if that would reduce the water being all over the floor. If the trash can could collect the dripping water. I didn't even think about that. Oh, just remember. But I damn sure have to do laundry. So for dinner I had, it was about 3:30 and I felt extremely hungry. And it's like, well, I can have 3 meals, I'm like, well, I can have 3 meals. The gang stalkers think they got the authority to dictate that I shouldn't be allowed to eat 3 meals a day. And if I eat once, they still talk about me being fat and greedy and obsessed with food, but they're obsessed with my relationship with food, and it's not their business. I'm about to be 40 years old. I'm not a child. I'm not a robot. I'm not a puppet. And I'm not an animal. So, I had quinoa for lunch. Like this quinoa with some mango and roasted peppers. And you didn't have to put it in the microwave, but I did. But I made a mistake because I mean the mango peppers stuff, it bursted into the microwave, and I had to clean it up. It was more than half of it that spilled, like bursted all over the place, and I accidentally left it in too long, a little bit too long, when I got sidetracked and was trying to multitask and clean up the excess water and trying to grab dishes or something. I don't remember. And so then I cleaned out the microwave and threw out the trash. So yeah, I've been getting disgusted and frustrated and annoyed about the leak, and as I said, I wouldn't be surprised if the gang stalkers hit the air conditioner with direct energy weapons, or if they tampered with it, or I'm not saying that it did happen, but it's a possibility. And so then I was busy trying to clean up, battle with cleaning up the water. And then after that, it was 5:19 or 5:20 in the afternoon. I dozed off and fell asleep. I tried to force myself to stay awake, but couldn't. Then I dozed off and fell asleep. And then I woke up. It was 6:19. And I had to go pee. And then they, out of nowhere, they caused me random forced diarrhea without warning. So, yeah, like, I wouldn't even be noticing, but other professed target individuals said that, that the gang stalkers are gassing my house or gassing up this cabin while I'm in it. So then, yeah, they caused me forced diarrhea. And then, I cleaned up, and then after that, I had to take out more trash, and then later on, I for dinner I had the chicken bites, and then I also had I had the chicken bites and the mixed vegetables. And after I microwaved the mixed vegetables, that container, everything tasted and smelled like strong dishwashing liquid. And then like I had the quinoa, and I had those Danish butter cookies. I had some of those for lunch. I was really hungry. And then for dinner, I didn't want to eat too late, but I ended up eating just before 9 o'clock. And I had the chicken bites and the mixed vegetables, and the I had like Cadbury caramello candy. Like I had half the package. And I'm like, I didn't even think it tasted that great. But I took my amazing grass supplement and some bentonite clay. But yeah, I think it was not last night, meaning an hour ago, but the night before. Um, I think that they hit me with the direct energy weapons to intensify menstrual cramps. Because you want to know how I know the weapons? Because um, as soon as I turned off the video, the cramps went away. I'm like, well, how did they before? I mean, I didn't even mention publicly about that I'm menstruating or whatever. But I said that if I get a place to live, then I won't feel much of a need to mention that about myself. But when I would be homeless on the streets, I would mention, look, I'm menstruating because y'all got me out here homeless on the streets with no opportunity to take a bath. And then, you block me from getting the opportunity for shower facilities and everything. And then y'all say, oh, you're nasty, you stink, and this and that or whatever. Well, you wrongfully banned me from all these different places. So, but now I can take a shower. But it's like I've been distracted with this and that, or busy with this and that, and it's like feeling high anxiety and feeling so depressed that I'm sitting here feeling embarrassed. Like I don't even remember the last time I took a shower. I don't remember if it could have been Tuesday. But, definitely after I get off this video and I got to clean up extra water off the floor. And, so I got to get laundry done. Well, if I got fleas, I definitely need to get it done as soon as possible. So, I gotta get laundry done. And, well, not in the middle of the night, I'm not doing laundry, but I'm talking about for later on, tomorrow, or shall I say tomorrow or later on today. But even if not later on today, it's like, I don't know. Excuse me. But yeah, I think I got fleas. But I'm trying to not have to make multiple laundry trips to clean towels so often, or have to go make multiple trips to go and buy paper towels to keep the water off the floor if I don't know when they will come and fix the air conditioner. So, I'm still working on, like, I had to put my other writings and research and everything on hold. And my main big focus right now is me trying to work on a letter for Social Security. I mean, a big, long letter for Social Security. And try to gather documentation. So I'm working on that too. So I don't know. I'm hoping and praying for things to get sorted out and fixed and then go through smoothly. It seems like the sleep deprivation really messes you up. Because even with everyday conversation, if you sleep deprived and you accidentally say something that you didn't mean to say, and then people want to punish you and hold you accountable, and when if you might have had the forced speech with the sleep deprivation and the forced speech, and then people want to punish you, or they'll make it like as if you're lying. But sometimes, like being sleep deprived, I don't know if to say if a person will be in a trance, or if they say something and their mind is not even really there, because being in and out of consciousness, or lose. I mean, if and I hear about sleep deprivation and micro sleeps. So if you accidentally say something you didn't mean to say, and people will hold it against you and want to punish you, or if you ask a question and you accidentally keep on with the forced speech saying no when you mean to say yeah, and then you get confused, and then later on you be like, oh, I didn't realize I said no, I meant to say yeah, what was I thinking, and then they'll hold it against you and make it like they think you're lying, or that you're the one that's trying to gaslight or manipulate. So I'm trying to have some faith and hope, and optimism with the Social Security issue. As I said, well, I did not know at all, because I haven't even dealt with the stocks or anything like that. So it was new to me, and I was so busy dealing with the gang stalking and distractions and fighting for my survival. It didn't even cross my mind to think, oh, I got to report this to Social Security. I took out stocks, but I wasn't even getting anything. So, I didn't even know that. And, well, as I said, they don't even document, like when you bring your stuff in, they don't even document your information correctly. And then they make you suffer. And they've been doing this. They don't even update your information. When you try to update your address, they do not update your address or phone number in the system. They leave it at your old stuff. Everything about Social Security and SSI, everything about the Social Security Administration is just so frustrating. They would have still on record that I live at 2812 Claremont Street. When I updated that information, and then like how right after I updated my information and let them know that I'm homeless, and then they discreetly went behind my back and cut off my Social Security and SSI, and saying that they had on record that I was dead. And I'm like, that had been a couple of months. They said, oh, well, you haven't responded to any of the letters. Well, I'm like, I'll let y'all know that I'm homeless, and I'll let y'all know my new address. The lady on the hotline, that's what they'll do. They'll update your SSI record, and then they lie and say, yeah, we're updating the record on your Social Security as well. And then they don't. Like, oh, you want to update on an SSI with the $24, where that's a little bit of money, but the Social Security, the big check, oh, you'll keep the old address. Or and then even if you go in person, they'll do the same thing, and then they'll get an attitude with you when you try to say, well, I need the address updated on both the SSI and the Social Security, so I can get my driver's license. If they want that, or the utility bill or something as proof, to try to get a driver's license, or try to get food stamps, or if you move to a new place or something like that, So they don't be wanting to update your new info. Like, one of my New Orleans phone numbers is still in the database online. I go to update that, and both online and in person, they still got my old phone number and my old addresses and stuff. So I do my part a lot of the time, but as I said, certain things like the financial donations, that was another thing I didn't even realize we had to report. But the people at the IRS told me that the Amazon ebooks and stuff, I had to report that. The Amazon ebook royalties. But they told me that the donations and stuff, I didn't have to report that to that as gift or whatever to the IRS. That's what I was told at the office. But I thought it was the same with the Social Security or the SSI. But as I say, I've been trying to avoid the Social Security people because they're abusive bullies. And it's like dealing with them is like dealing with cops when they get with the narcissistic abuse and the gaslighting and manipulation and them trying to provoke you and set you up. And they have traumatized me. So that's why I've been like trying to stay away as much as possible. But whenever I worked, I was sending letters or sending copies of all my work stubs. And so now they're saying that they're missing work stubs from HireQuest. And then the lady had on records lying and saying that I worked in 2016. I didn't work that year at all. And I'm like, look, y'all got all my information mixed up. So y'all talking about declare under penalty of perjury and trying to use that to instill fear and intimidation. But y'all not even putting in my information correctly. I put in my information like with the, the Avis job, the HireQuest. They trying to say that they're missing check stubs from HireQuest. I know I did my part, but what did y'all do? So they even try to say that I worked in 2018 2021 during a time that I was not working. I'm like, I gotta sort this all out because they got the information just messed up and wrong. But, as I said, certain things I didn't realize that I had to report. But the online gang stalkers, like they act like they know more. Even though I don't know a whole lot about SSI or Social Security, even though I've been on it for so long. But I never touched that aspect of stocks, taking out stocks or whatever. But as I said, I thought it was a last resort, desperate attempt at trying to, CashApp kept on advertising, oh, you can invest in just as little as $1. But the stocks kept on going down and I didn't make much of nothing. I thought I had one, but I didn't realize it. I forgot. I thought I had one, but I had two. And I didn't remember the dates. I didn't have the information in front of me. So the lady might use that to falsely accuse me of lying. I forgot that I had two. And she bullied and intimidated me on the phone. I couldn't even get through everything or talk everything through with her. So, she tried to make like she thought that I was lying about the stocks. Not on purpose. If, I didn't know that you had to report that and I forgot that I had two. I thought I had one for some reason. And, I was very sleep deprived that day. So, I was so sleep deprived. And then all of a sudden, having distractions with the noise campaigns and noise harassment outside that was agitating and frustrating me even more. Whoa, what's this bright light outside? It looks so bright outside. So, yeah, if you're so sleep deprived that you accidentally either on paper or in person, like I'm letting y'all know how the sleep deprivation affects me being targeted. Like I didn't realize that, I had to write a letter, letting them know my updated, I didn't realize that I was sleep deprived and had a rough day on April 12th when I applied for the food stamps. And I'm like, I thought I looked over everything. How did I accidentally input August 24th as my birthday when I meant to put the 25th? And I just noticed that the other day, a couple of days ago. And I'm like, oh man, they have on record that August 24th. And I'm like, if I put that, then I really apologize, because I thought that I looked over everything. Excuse me. So when I'm sleep deprived and try to write short stories, I accidentally spell stuff wrong or say stuff wrong and call myself trying to proofread. And then I call myself trying to proofread and then not realize typos or certain stuff that I said wrong by accident, or stuff that might sound like nonsensical gibberish. But yeah, I mean, if the gang stalked, as I said, like, it was right after I published that first ebook, before I got any royalties, they were hollering that I'm a scammer and a fraud. And every time I write an ebook, they say it's a scam or a fraud. Just to write and publish ebooks, trying to make a living. And they said, oh, she's going to have to report all that. She's going to have, and oh, she's committing. And I was like, how y'all saying stuff? And it's like, as I said, I didn't want to believe or I'm not going to take anything the gang stalker, like, believe what they say. Because they don't have my best interest at heart. They ain't trying to help me. So, like, I didn't believe them when they said, oh, you're going to have to report the donations or whatever. And one lady told me, and plus a lot of websites say that you didn't. So I wasn't sure of what to believe. But I went in all these years never getting in trouble with Social Security or whatever. But if it weren't for that thing that happened 3 years ago, and that gave everybody financial hardship, I would not have had, and then being wrongfully banned from everywhere. They make life to be forced to have to be more expensive for the target. I was fearing for my life. And ended up homeless and struggling. So, as I said, certain things, like, if it didn't even cross my mind, like, I'm like, oh, wow. I didn't even realize, oh, I have to report the YouTube revenue as income. Like, oh, that wasn't even thinking, So I got to gather documentation for all that. But, the lady wanted to bully, intimidate, and punish me. And as I said, the gang stalkers, they've been calling up the Social Security office. And they brag about how they do it. They brag about how they call up the Social Security office and show them my videos or tell them stuff I said or whatever. So even a fake TI person, like, oh, she's going to have to report all that. And it's like they're ranting on, I just published the ebook. And, y'all already falsely accusing me of being like a scammer and a fraud before I even get any royalties. And the first royalty that I got on that ebook was only $25. And then y'all called me greedy for treating myself with the y'all called me greedy for treating myself to a steak dinner. And then they perked me and didn't even do my dinner right with the DoorDash and Ruby Tuesday. They didn't even give me do my dinner. They fucked up my steak dinner that I wanted to make so special. So, if I can work at a job, I can work at Dollar General and make earned income, and y'all still call that scamming and fraud. Like, any way I'm making money or trying to survive, it's like y'all trying to criminalize my survival and trying to criminalize my very existence. And you call for me to like when I was working through HireQuest and working at the schools, the temp service. And when I worked there, at the schools, y'all try to bully me about how I spend my own work money and call it scam and fraud. But I heard there's a lot of people who get SSI and Social Security or something, and they don't know that they're supposed to report this, or they don't know that they're supposed to report this or supposed to report that. Especially with the online donations and stuff. So the IRS and the Social Security office, they consider it work, and they consider it self-employment for me to work on my writings, but y'all hinder and sabotage and put a halt. And y'all sabotage and put a halt to me trying to survive and make a living. I try to earn a living, and y'all put a halt and make up lies on purpose to stop people from wanting to support me and buy my ebooks. I offer them for free, but I offer if you want the choice to buy them and support me to make a living. But I don't try to compel or make somebody buy my ebooks. And I get much or nothing from my ebooks, and a lot of times my short stories, the last fundraiser donation I got was April, when I used the funds, for the part of the first month of the rent of me staying here, because a lot of the Social Security money was used on the bus ticket to come here. The bus ticket, and then some food, and I also had to spend a couple of nights in the hotel. And before I came here, so the transportation, food, a day or two of hotel, and I paid my phone and storage bill, and then the rest of the money, I was trying to get help with, if people were able to help me make ends meet, to help me make ends meet with enough to be able to get into this cabin to stay in. So now I have not asked for help. The last time I asked for help was April 12th. And I had a lot of business trying to get done. Like, I needed help with enough money for the P.O. box. I needed help with, trying to get my driver's license. And later on that day, I even had an interview. I tried to do the job interview. The gang stalkers sabotaged the job interview. I asked for another job opportunity. They said they weren't hiring. And then, I was very sleep deprived. That was the day they attacked my YouTube channels, and falsely reported old videos and stuff, and, caused me to get wrongfully striked on my channel. And right when, that was, when they found out I got monetized. And so and these are whole Satan worshipers now. Satan worshipers. And then, so later on, at the moment, I was sleep deprived and tired, and, I didn't know, like, when you be chronically sleep deprived, and a lot of times I don't know when the gang stalkers would keep me sleep deprived or when they would let me sleep. Because sometimes it can be an indefinite amount of time, or they can do it for a long time. And it's like, I don't even know, or I can't predict when the direct energy weapon attacks will happen. And so, I was fighting for my life with all the vertigo and nausea and all that. That traumatized me and set me back. And they attacked me even more when I tried to work on ebooks, and then they started attacking me with the vertigo and nausea. And so a few hours ago was the second or third time living up in here that they caused me forced diarrhea. So with all these direct energy attacks and stuff like that, and they sabotaging me, and now they're trying to falsely paint me as a fraud. As I said, with the donations and stuff, I thought if it was gift money, I didn't realize we had to report that. So, that lady tried to treat me like as if I wasn't intentionally trying to commit a crime and do wrong, or intentionally and knowingly and willfully giving false information, which I wasn't, not trying to on purpose. So, as I said, what would make somebody think that I'm 39 about to be 40? If I've been an honest person, what would make people think that I'm just one day just start doing dishonest and crooked things? But the gang stalkers, the online perps, they lie on me and say that Candy has been a crook and a scammer and a fraud and living luxury her whole life. Y'all don't know shit about me. You don't know me at all. And they'll say that you're going to prison soon, or you're about to drop dead very soon, or, oh, you won't live to see your 40th birthday. So it's August 5th. I got 20 days before me and my twin sister turn 40, and I won't be able to celebrate it with her. I won't even be able to contact her. But she gets extra abusive at least from June up until after our birthday. But in foster care, we will argue, fuss, and fight, and then come together and get along for our birthday. But I really hate that. It's the foster mom that's the mastermind behind all this, though. My twin sister, she can, rekindle the twinship with me if she wanted to, but she's the one who's not willing. But then she would still be. I would just wish for her to treat me like a normal human being, rather than be very abusive, bossy, and controlling, and a bully, and think she got power, rulership, and authority over me. And, trying to talk to me like I'm just a retarded person, or think she's better than me. And the entire family treat me like that. They don't treat me like a decent human being. The older sister, Ramona, try to say, oh, well, you're lucky that I'm the only one in the family who treats you halfway like you human. And she will treat me one of the worst in the family. And extremely jealous. But my twin sister falsely accused me of being jealous of her. I don't need to be jealous of anybody who sold their soul. Because see, when we were in foster care, the foster mom will wait until our birthday. Wait till around our birthday to become extra abusive for an excuse to have us punished for our birthday, so that she didn't have to worry about, so she can have like a fake legitimate excuse to justify not giving us a birthday party or something, or birthday presents. But every once in a while, the foster sisters like April or Shelly might come through and give us a birthday present. And Adrian Felder, she wouldn't give us shit. And then she would pretend like she forgot our birthday. So all that birthday abuse, my twin sister should get it from the foster mom. It's like, I feel deeply hurt that she want to discipline, abuse, and think she can handle me a certain way, rather than just treating me like normal. If my twin sister, when we would be on good terms, she would acknowledge the fact that whatever issue is wrong with me, that the foster mom got me like this. But the foster mom got you a certain kind of fucked up too. Both of us. She fucked both of us up. Not just me and not just you. She fucked both of us up. She fucked all of us up. I mean, Wyatt and Mark, they turned out to be abusive people, but they still got some, and Sean got some foster care trauma too. Joni got some, well, Joni was adopted, but she got some trauma from the foster mom. But it's like we're all dealing with it, I guess, in different ways. I did not know that the foster brother Joe put a gun, that he pulled a gun out on Wyatt. But Joe was beating us and abusing us like a fucking rag doll. And the foster mom protected him. If Joe would have raped or molested us, the foster mom wouldn't have believed us. The foster stepdad was doing sexual weird shit. And the foster mom protected him. And she wanted to punish me for reporting the foster dad doing and saying sexually perverted stuff. Excuse me. If we were 12 years old and he watched the porn channel at the loudest volume, like, come on, dude. Like, and you're married. But this is what we had to hear so much. And the foster mom just let it go on. So, and the foster stepdad in his narcissistic lectures, he would always, he would make references, to sexually perverted, kind of stuff. It was a couple of days ago, I saw a video of a female exposing her mom on camera, her biological mom on camera, and the mom trying to gaslight her and call her crazy when she said, yeah, I forgot whether she said it was her dad or her stepdad that was molesting her, and that the mom enabled it and didn't do anything. And the foster dad, Al, used to urinate in front of us at 4 years old, and he used to watch porn in front of us. But I don't remember him molesting us. But Lisa Ruby said that the foster dad, Al, molested us. But I don't remember him doing that, but for some reason, I never liked him to kiss me or show me affection when I was, but I never liked, when I was little, the foster mom used to lick her finger and then do like this on my mouth, and that used to gross me out. But till this day, there was a point in time that I liked affection, to be like to hug somebody or shake hands. But if I try to shake hands or hug somebody, a narcissistic abuser if I try to show affection, they falsely accuse me of being inappropriate or say that's inappropriate, unacceptable behavior to shake somebody's hand or hug them or try to make new friends. Or if I cry, they say that's inappropriate, bad behavior. But they make me cry. So, as I said, I was trying to just turn in my check stubs, with the Social Security Administration without trying to not contact them, because every time I have to contact them, or even over the phone or in person, they would get abusive, or they play psychological games and gaslight and provoke and antagonize, bully, harass, and laugh at me. And so I'd be afraid to contact or associate, with the Social Security people. But, I was unsure and didn't know what to believe about whether or not I was supposed to have turn in, the online donations or, my writings or whatever, in which the writings I got I didn't get that much money from the writings. But so now, if it's donation, like gift item, as I said, I was trying to get hotel room to get off the streets, to stay out of bad weather. And I was trying to work, trying to be independent, trying to do this, trying to do the ticket to work and self-sufficiency. And it's like they try to set me up, put up roadblocks to set me up for failure in every direction. But the stocks, I knew nothing about that. I had to report that. But, they would tell, like the online gang stalkers, was like Starbreaker would say that my writing is not work. And try to force me to stop writing. And then they would try to falsely make like as if it's trash. Well, I did have talks about trying to be a full-time writer, but when I tried to publish the cooking ebook as a so-called punishment, they started sleep depriving me and hitting me with the weapons, causing me vertigo and nausea bad enough that I thought I was going to die, and making threats to make me back homeless again. But nobody talks about their fraud or their scam. They lie on me every day. Where's their punishment? They slander and lie on me every day. But I'm sitting here trying to live an honest life. As I said, I wasn't even sure. I didn't even know what to believe about the donation and the gang stalkers harassing me about that. But the Social Security people, they don't give you enough. It's not enough to live on. And then rising everything, housing costs, inflation, everything. As I said, what me getting very little from my writings and my ebooks or whatever, and then I get treated like a retarded child that's not supposed to be allowed to write ebooks. That bitch on the phone told me that I'm not allowed to make money off my ebooks. That Social Security worker, she said that. I'm like, you're not supposed to tell me that I'm not allowed to make a living from my ebooks or be self-employed. Or so as I said, I try to become self-sufficient and independent and try to get off Social Security and work my way legally with the Ticket to Work program. And the Voc Rehab and Ticket to Work people, they set me up and they failed me and they didn't help me. And it was a big struggle in dealing with workplace mobbing, being blacklisted, set up, lied on, falsely accused. And the best thing to do is try to be self-employed. Y'all want to criminalize me trying to make a living. And even professed targeted individuals, they get freaking jealous. And then everybody falsely accused me of being jealous. No, y'all using projection. So now, what time is it? 1:07 a.m. in the morning. Well, thanks for letting me rant. But, as I said, I was confused and didn't know what to believe. And as I said, me trying to avoid the Social Security people, avoid in like direct contact with them because they're so abusive. So, I just turned in whatever paperwork through putting it in the mail or sending it in that slot in the office because I didn't want them to try to harass and provoke me, the workers and stuff, and try to set me up. And this is the letter that I'm working on, letting them know I'm tired of being fed up and tired of being treated this way.